Natalie Wood became a child star when she emerged on the Hollywood scene in Miracle on 34th Street. She cemented her star status after starring as a teen in the Nicholas Ray film Rebel Without a Cause, starring Sal Mineo and James Dean, both of whom would die very young, brutal deaths as well. She won an Oscar for the role and went on to star in Splendor in the Grass, The Searchers, West Side Story, and many, many others. In 1981, she drowned off her and her husband's yacht near Catalina Island off the coast of Los Angeles. She was with her husband that night, an actor, Chris Walken. The ship's captain has claimed time and again that he heard them fighting for a long period of time, and then there was silence. Her husband, Robert Wagner, has admitted to them fighting, and he thinks that she heard the dinghy banging against the yacht and couldn't sleep, and when trying to untie the dinghy, she slipped into the water. Some have speculated that Wagner and Walken were having an affair and that she walked in on them. Although this is not only salacious, this would also make no sense as to why the three of them would be on this boat and why they would risk her finding out. Chris Walken is an Oscar-winning actor who excels at playing dark and disturbing and even demonic characters. I would be remiss not to mention the famous Mel Gibson interview in 1998 when he mentions talking to a dark and ethereal Walken at a party and him being into some very disturbing things. The deeper you go into Natalie Wood's life, the more tragic it gets. When Wood was a teenager, it's claimed, around 16 years old, she was to meet with one of the biggest stars in the world, an icon, a legend, possibly playing a role opposite him in his next film. They met at the famed Chateau Marmont, the temporary home to celebrities and rock stars with a sordid history all its own. Apparently, the interview with this legend went on for hours. It's been reported that she was raped by this icon, this legend, so brutally that it scarred her for life, both physically and psychologically. That this actor not only raped her over a prolonged period, but beat her and laughed at her when she stumbled out the door. He was unapologetic and ruthless. For decades, no one knew who it was, and no one was brought to justice or held responsible. It's difficult to say if by her not going public, it helped her career, but she did very well in the years following the incident. Nearly every role she did received deserved critical attention or box office success. But a major revelation about her assault came when a certain Oscar-winning icon of film passed away in 2020. A younger, famous, anonymous male actor posted online that a very good friend of his, Natasha Gregson Wagner, Natalie Wood's daughter, confided in him on a movie set that her mother told her who it was who raped her. According to them, Kirk Douglas invited Natalie to his room at the Marmont and not only raped her violently for that prolonged period of time, but slapped her across the face numerous times and even punched her. Some have speculated that the person who posted this was Robert Downey Jr. because he said that he starred with Natasha Gregson Wagner in a 90s film with Heather Graham, and that one fits the bill, and Robert Downey Jr. fits the bill. I urge you all to watch this interview with Christopher Walken shortly after Natalie Wood's death. He behaves more like a coworker than someone who co-starred in a movie with her and was on the boat the night she died. Maybe he was having an affair with her and Robert Wagner found out. Who knows? Robert Wagner's official story of the night she died was that they fought, he shoved her, and she got angry and took a dinghy and got lost. Her sister claims that Natalie could not swim and would not risk going into a dinghy at night like that. According to the coroner, she had a mix of booze and motion sickness pills in her system. Natalie Wood is a Hollywood icon who starred alongside some of the giants of the industry, and to this day we don't know exactly what happened and how, and no one was ever brought to justice or held responsible for her rape or death. She was 43.